So hello everyone. Thank you to Harvey having me here. It was a pity that I cannot able to fly, although I really wanted to. From past one and a half year, I was working on something which is completely very different, on which I started my career. So I started my career as a computer system, and today, listen, I'm talking in among these top speakers about economic system. And this is not something which just came in my mind randomly. Because all these years when I was working, I was what I feel that the push of the economic growth, which happened in the recent decade, had led us to the substantial increase in the wealth for a large number of people across the globe. But despite these huge gains in global economic output, there is a strong evidence that the current social and political as well as the economic systems are growing inequalities rather than reducing them. The global financial crisis revealed significant weakness in the financial system, and some of this vulnerability already shown that their impact in this interconnected global market. Even after several years of crisis, the world economy is still struggling with the slow growth with the same unconventional monetary policy. Almost in all the major economies, it's one or the other way. There is not many different. But it is very important that we must find a way of making financial system more and more resilient in this upcoming world. So we are moving towards. So we are talking about globalism, but it feels that we are moving towards the world where globalism, even sometimes the democracy is in retreat, while the things like protectionism and nativism is on the rise. Incidents like Brexit is one of those many examples to be considered. Although when this kind of events is happening, we try to find that whom we should blame for this. But the point is whom to blame for this. Because the kind of financial crisis we have seen in the generation, it's now taking a shape which also the other speakers were mentioning about the trust. It's taking the shape in the form of crisis of trust. Regulations may be doing the best to able to solve this crisis of trust, while they are not able to quite reach where it's required to be reached because some of their inherent vulnerabilities in the system. And one of the vulnerability which I see is the centralization, because anything which is centralized is obviously easy to attack, easy to manipulate. We don't need an example that how systems can be manipulated even in a democratic societies. To function efficiently, the system need to rebuild that trust back again. But the point is, how are we going to do that? Because we can't change something after a point. We can keep applying patches. I come from a software background where we can keep apply patching until the software is delivered and working very well. But sometimes it's happened that you have to leave that code and you have to restart again if we want to really change the society. And we have changed these kind of radical changes when first the motor was introduced. We didn't have quite an infrastructure. We had to build the entire infrastructure. And when that infrastructure was built, the new cars were running as smooth as the old horses on the same infrastructure built for the new cars. We have seen the similar radical change when the cell phone was introduced. We didn't use the lines or the wires. We just start putting new towers everywhere for the cellular connectivity. And the same we did for the new internet. The web was great in all the aspects. But until now, the web was all about moving money. Now we are realizing that the world where we are living, the digital world, we want to do global economy. The internet is maybe not the correct technology if we want to move money. I'm sorry guys, I can't see you. I really wanted to know that how many of you are using mobile phone or different type of internet technology to move your money. I'm sure everyone sitting in the other side in the room have used internet or their banking system online to move the money. But the question is that are we able to move money? Let's think about this. When we use our internet system, are we really moving money? Or we are just interfacing with some of the bank application and telling them what to do for us? It's a question, because when we interface with the bank application, our beautiful design banking application, it looks like that we are moving money, but that's not true. Every time we move money, actually we ask permission from decentralized institution and depends on their mercy to move that money for us. I don't have any problem with the centralized institution, other than that they are controlled. Well, now I can see myself back. Other than they can control by individuals or a group of individuals, hacked or get leaked time to time, or sometime, or not sometime, even after 500 years of the development, the banking system still exclude the 50% of human population on the planet. It's pity that we have more than 3.5 billion people around the globe who are not able to participate in our global economy. Today, we are running $1 trillion of businesses, all built on the trust which we are getting, or which we are, say, let's put in the way, a different word for building trust, called manufacturing trust by the banks, credit rating companies, payment processing companies. And we know what happened next when we believed all of three, or some of them, one of them. But this time something happened after the last financial crisis of 2008. When a group of persons called Satoshi Nakamoto released a new thing called Bitcoin. A new way to move money which does not require any intermediary. And we know it's working. But more than important, that some of us who know it's working, it's actually worked very well, and it worked in a way that now we started talking about complete new industry through which we can redesign how the economies or how some of the old things were working. We can say it sparks an evolution through which we can completely redesign money or how the monetary system worked. Today, in terms of speaking in the computer science department, we are seeing the largest civilian deployment for the public key encryption around the world. The technology is driving most credible research in the history. The people who never cared about sharing their location, especially people like me, my location is almost everywhere in the world. We share pictures without noticing that what kind of value it has. The same people like us suddenly start caring so much about their online, because it figured it out that having the bitcoins or similar cryptocurrencies online gave us ability to focus our mind. And the people who never cared about security or the cyber security, suddenly talking about two-factor authentication, public-private key encryption, and horrified that how we used to practice security before. It turns out that holding this value gave our mind this extra ability to focus, where we went from a steep learning curve in cybersecurity. But underpinning this Bitcoin, this technology called the blockchain, which can be applied in many, many different other industries like governance, insurance, supply chain, and many more. Blockchain will move our value. Remember, not the, I'm just talking about money, value. The only difference is that they are not controlled by humans, but the thousands of thousands computer across the globe. And they don't have a scalability problem because they can grow without the regulation due to their inherent property of non-corruption. And this is a feature. I know many of us feels in a way that having not a regulation is a bug. But having not a regulation in a system which can't be corrupted once it's deployed, I feel it's a feature rather than bug. What Bitcoin did to or doing it to money, the blockchain can do it for different other things. We all are using today social media. I own personally more than 5 or 6, if I don't remember, different social media, and everyone in this room maybe have at least one of them. Now, blockchain is giving birth to decentralized automated platforms who will issue their own cryptocurrency for this new generation of economy. And it's not something which will happen. It's something which already started and happening every coming day. To just give an example, what kind of value it can bring to the society. Take for example, we all use Facebook or a certain kind of different social media network, which is used mostly for the advertisement. But what we get by using these systems, okay, a sharing of data, but what the companies get of this? They pack our attention in a nice, beautiful way to create this $1 billion of industry to sell it to their customer. And what they are selling to their customer, they sell their customer our attention. But in return, we don't get anything. While a company running in a decentralized, automated way, a similar company can package our attention and sell, and in return can give us the crypto coin based on the attention given by us. And these crypto coins will be able to be cashed out to buy value. Similarly can be done for many different things. We can build a world where we can be paid directly without intermediaries to create a real share economy. Share economy is a big buzzword around us. We all talk about how share economy can change the future and how it is helpful in optimization. But talking about my future, how I see or how I envision this future, I see a world where we will have banking, but we will not need banks anymore. We will have sharing systems where we will be able to share our houses, but there will be no place for companies like Airbnb anymore. We keep sharing our cute videos and puppy and Mimi's videos, but there will be no YouTube to monetize without paying us, or different companies taking a huge cut between to selling our attention. There are, of course, ride-sharing apps, and we will be doing a transportation like Uber, but there will be no Uber exist anymore in that future. In the future, there will be no place of any intermediaries, a place where merchants can communicate directly with their consumer without any intermediary. And that's the future we are shooting for. Thank you very much.